If you had 30 minutes to hide from a nuclear blast, where would you go? I'd always heard a basement of a library is good because books may absorb some radiation. I work at a nuclear pharmacy which has dosimeters, Geiger counters, potassium iodide tablets, radiac spray, PPE and lead, and the break room / office is an extra vault that was made to house a particle accelerator known as a cyclotron. I'm at work right now. So, assuming I'm safe from the initial blast radius, I'd probably go sit at my desk, scroll through Reddit and watch the world end. The Eisenhower Tunnel on I-70 in Colorado, 1.7 miles long, unless it turns into Stephen King Lazarev Stunto. I would probably go to the bank and ask to go to where I stored valuables. Well, according to this film by the National Cleanup, Paint Up, Fix Up Bureau, my best bet is to wait inside a house that has been coated with a fresh coat of good American paint and varnish. There is an old building near me that has a basement. I know what boards to move to get into the basement from the outside. It's the only building I know of within about 100 miles that is entirely reinforced brick masonry with a basement, and I'm sure I'd spend the apocalyptic event chatting with several homeless people who also know about the board. We'd all survive though. Hide? I ain't getting drafted for WW3, this bomb gonna send me. There is a building at the college I work at that goes 80 feet underground and has 6 foot thick inward sloping concrete walls. I'll be in there. I'd try to do that guy jacking off from Pompey thing. I feel like someone should pay that forward. I would find the nearest elementary school and hide under one of the desks. Anyway, that's what we were taught when I was in elementary school. Subway system / sewer system. Underground basically. Edit. Thanks for my most upvoted comment ever. You all make great points. I think it's really situational, depends on blast radius, distance, etc. Overall, not an easy thing to survive. Pretty easy. I would just go to my nearest bomb shelter. They are all over the place here in Finland and can house up to 4 million people, so more than enough room for the entire urban population. Every metro station also doubles as a bomb shelter, and I can walk to one of those within 10 minutes, so I would probably chill there. There are probably a bunch of shelters even closer to me though, but could be busy. You can actually walk across a lot of Helsinki center completely underground. I often do. When it is raining, the underground network of tunnels is huge. And all bomb-proof. Finland actually has one of the most thorough civil defense programs in the world. In new development projects, property owners must include a civil defense shelter in buildings of at least 1200 m2. Left square bracket. Oh god, did I miss something in the news today? The lady that used to do my taxes told me that her daughter and family were in Hawaii when the false alarm went out. They got into bed with their small children and watched kids movies, waiting to die, but keeping the kids unaware and happy. This went on for some time. To bed for a 30-minute nap. There's a fallout shelter in a bank about a mile down from where I live that was built back in the 60s. I'd probably yoink some snacks and a bottle of Jack from the kitchen and sprint down there, then hunker down for a few days. If it's locked, then, well, I can polish off the Jack and wait for the fireworks. I'd probably climb up onto my roof with a lawn chair and a cold beer and watch everything go to shit. To the liquor store, so I could hide from my problems the way I always do. I would go buy all the frozen pizzas I could carry and head to the flavor zone. There is an old library built in the 1960s less than a mile from my house with a basement fallout shelter. I know because I always see the old 1960s fallout shelter signs and consider stealing one, but the potential of getting caught and being banned from the library for the rest of my life stops me every time. Under the blankets, nothing can get you under there. A grocery store, eat everything you can before you die. Go outside and wait to die. I'm not gonna deal with that shit. I'm not within death radius of any place that could plausibly be nuked. Even if someone decided to go abso-fucking-lutely nuts on us in Australia and sent 10 nukes at Melbourne, I can't see them hitting Frankston, Cranbourne, and Mornington, the 3 closest semi-plausible targets. I'd shelter in place. I'm going to dig the deepest trench possible in 30 minutes. Tell my friends, guys, we are playing Fallout today. I think I'd find a chain link fence near a playground. Might as well go out the way I lived, embracing my knowledge of useless pop culture references like it as a talent. Edit, SP. The afterlife. The nuclear blast won't be able to kill me if I kill myself first. I'd go have a pint at the Winchester and wait for the whole thing to blow over. If I knew it was coming, I'd just drive away. Distance makes all the difference with nuclear blasts. I am close to mountains in the outer suburbs of a big city. I'd drive in that mountain direction as we often have winds from there. Minimal fallout that way too. If leaving the city was not an option, I'd just hit up my basement. It is below ground enough that I think I'd be fairly safe. I'd gather my dogs and cats and go up to our bedroom and cuddle my husband. Give the doggies and kitties some treats on the bed and hope they don't jump off, so that my last moments are a cuddle fest. Drive away from the blast. It should take less than 30 minutes to get out of the blast area. How far am I from the epicenter? Is it a city? How large of a city is it? If it just happens to be where I currently am, then I'd drive north. I live in a rural area, so not the traffic you'd find in and around a city, and at this time of year the wind mostly comes from the north/northwest, so I'd be driving away from the fallout. I'd just drive as far and as fast as I could. Reach over into my nightstand/junk drawer and pull out my old Nokia 3310 to shield myself from the blast. I'd grab a 6-pack, grab a chair and sit outside calling my family and friends while waiting for the end. I'm not suicidal, but any world that would exist after my city gets bombed would be unrecognizable and probably not worth surviving for. A pillow fort. I'm safe in there. Down the street, into the woods, up the path, over the creek, up the hill, and into Vault 111. Pornhub to have my last fap, and then freak out for 29 minutes. I'd drive like crazy for 30 minutes. If I drive at 100 km/h, I would be 50 km from the center of the explosion. A good distance. I would not hide. I will stay outside. I know where the nuke is going to be, so I go closer. I rather not have the most depressing years of my life. I can't do anything, so I rather just die than live the worst moments of my entire life.